Hi guys, how's it going? And welcome back to our allotment and welcome back to another allotment tour. So I was kind of in two minds whether to do this tour or not because I'm a little bit embarrassed about how the allotment is looking at the minute. It's kind of looking a little bit wild and overgrown. So yeah, summer holidays has happened, kids have been at home. Chris and I have kind of been in and out of work as well. My mum's been here looking after the kids when I've not been at work. We've been away on holiday. So yeah, other things have taken priority and we've just not been up to the allotment really, apart from just to harvest a few bits here and there. But yeah, you know, that's just my sort of excuses to say why the plot doesn't quite look its best. But yeah, I was in two minds whether to do this tour because I thought it's just going to look a mess, nobody's going to want to watch it. But then I thought, well, probably other people are going through the same thing actually. Not necessarily because it's school holidays, but just generally life is busy and we don't always have time to spend lots of time in the allotment, keep it nice and kempt, especially when it's kind of just one or two of you or yeah, just trying to sort of keep up with it. So yeah, I thought, yep, let's just go ahead with it, let's do the tour. But yeah, we've got some good things growing at the minute. Yes, there's lots of weeds, so just try and ignore the weeds and all the grass that's kind of sprouting up everywhere. But yeah, let's go and have a look and see how it's doing. So just for reference, this is our whole plot. So going from kind of down here, going all the way up. So up here, all the way to the end, and then back down again. So that is our whole plot. And it is quite a large plot actually. It's 20 by 5 meters, so loads and loads of space. So yeah, I just thought I'd sort of take you round and just show you how everything's doing. Things that maybe need a little bit of work, things that I'm going to change next year as well. Yeah, so I think what we might do is start right up at the top where our fruit trees and the cut flowers are. Let's head on up there. So we'll just kind of walk up all the way through, all the way to the end. And something that has brought me so much joy this year is our little cut flower patch. So this is our, well, it's the fruit tree patch here. We've got 5 dwarf fruit trees, 1, 2, 1 in the middle, and then 1, 2 the other side. They're still very, very small, so we decided to plant loads of cut flowers in this section. And as you can see, especially the cosmos, they are going absolutely mad. So they're really coming to their own now. I was a little bit worried because we initially just planted loads of wildflowers and then the cut flowers as well, and the wildflowers just took over. So we took all those out and just allowed those cut flowers to start flowering. But we've had some really, really beautiful flowers. Bees and pollinators have been loving all these flowers, as you can see. A little bumblebee there. So yeah, cosmos, we've got lots of different types. Got this beautiful sort of magenta-y one. Got a beautiful one with a little purple outer. Let's have a look. What other ones we've got? Got a nice pinky one. And these are so prolific. You can literally, they're so easy to grow and they just keep going and going and going. And then another one which I think is really, really pretty, which I hadn't seen before, are these. So I think this is the seashell mix. This is one of the ones that I actually sewed myself, but they've got these little tubes for petals. So pretty. Very unusual. I've not seen that in a cosmos before. But yeah, so just lots of different cut flowers. We've got some nice straw flowers. Lots of different colours of straw flowers. We had zinnias as well. Show you one of the zinnias. The little zinnias. Snapdragons. Here again, lots of different coloured snapdragons. Oh, and the one thing I'm so impressed by that I actually managed to grow it are these bells of Ireland. Look at those. These were so hard to sow and germinate. I had to do it about 3 times, but I'm so glad I did and persisted, because they're just absolutely gorgeous. And they're really nice to kind of tuck into flower arrangements, just as a little kind of a spike accent in a flower bouquet. So I've really been enjoying those. We've got some amaranth growing as well. So again, I'm going to grow more of this amaranth next year. I love it, absolutely love it. And again, it's a nice little kind of soft texture in a bouquet, or a little accent spike. Again, more straw flowers. Got some Rebecca in here as well. These are just new plants though, so next year they'll be a lot taller. So bright yellow with a nice black centre. What else have we got? Lots of different things. So yeah, this year was a bit of an experiment with our cut flowers. We just kind of decided to dot them in and around the fruit trees, and it's a little bit messy. I can see that it's just very higgledy-piggledy. So next year we have got another plan to just kind of organise them a little bit better. What my hope is to kind of dot them in and around our vegetables, basically. That might change, but yeah, just have to have a little bit more organisation and have like maybe all the snapdragons together in one section, maybe not in a row, but just in one little section, and then, you know, other flowers in their own little bit, so you can really sort of see the beauty of each flower really, and sort of in a bigger drift really. But yeah, so really impressed. Next year I'm going to go to town with flowers. Do you know what, I wouldn't mind just having a whole allotment filled with flowers and no veg because they are just so pretty, they're so rewarding, and I've loved coming to pick them up at the allotment and then taking them home, making bouquets, giving bouquets to people. I recently made a bouquet for a friend's 40th and she loved them, so it's just a really nice feeling to be able to, yeah, pick your own flowers, make a bouquet and give it to somebody. Anyway, on with the tour. So coming on down, I'll just kind of go around this side. We have got our 2 rows of dahlias. So, and as you can see, they're doing really well. So these dahlias I literally just bought from garden centres, and I just tried to get a few different varieties, a few different colours, different types of dahlias, some big, some small, some pom-poms, some decorative. Yeah, and they're just absolutely gorgeous. And again, the dahlias I want to have a lot more next year because they're absolutely gorgeous, and this one especially is one of my absolute favourites. Let me have a look, see if I can find out what that one was. Oh, that one was called Little Robert. How cute! They're just so gorgeous. Hope it's focusing okay. So that has been one of my favourite dahlias out of our little patch this year. And then next to it we've got our French can. So this is a dinner plate one. So again, these get even bigger. So this is just kind of a little spider. So these ones get even bigger. And they last so long. Dahlias seem to last so long in a bouquet, like over a week, and they look so strong. So that one was actually selected by my daughter Elise. They each got to choose a dahlia, and she chose this one. And then Eric, bless him, chose this one here, which is not doing that well. This is Blackjack. But finally we have a bud. So anyway, it's supposed to be a dinner plate dahlia. It's just struggled, I don't know why. But anyway. So coming on down, this one again is absolutely gorgeous. This is another dinner plate one. Just really sort of clear yellow. And again, that one will get bigger as well. It's just starting to really open up. So this is part of a dinner plate duo set, so I don't know the variety, but again, just very simple but very beautiful. And then coming on down, I think this one we've not gone in on that one yet. And this one is really pretty. So again, that's just a little pom-pom one. I'm just trying to look for the tag. What's that one called? Oh, Rocco. Yeah, that one's called Rocco. So just really, really pretty. See if we can get this one there. Yeah, so pretty. And then this one, I think this one, yeah, it's just starting to get some more. I have been picking on this one. Again, this is very, very small mini pom-pom, but that sort of purpley magenta-y colour. And then this one is, I think this is called Bristol Stripe. Again, more of a reddy, whitey one. But they're just so pretty, aren't they, dahlias? They are just amazing. And then the last dahlia we've got is our little red one, or little, I say little. Oh no, this one's called Bristol Stripe. I don't know why that's called Bristol Stripe, because it's got no stripes on it, but hey ho. Apparently that's Bristol Stripe. What was the other one? That one was, okay, so that one was Little Tiger. I'm wondering whether I swap those two over, the name tags. There you go. But I've just been loving these dahlias, so next year I want to amp up the dahlia patch again. And they're just so beautiful, and they've brought me so much joy, and other people as well. So those are our flowers. So as I said, next year I'm amping them up. I've already done my seed buying. I ordered them today, so they should come through, but I'll kind of talk you through. I'll maybe do a video actually just to show you all the different varieties that I'm going to be growing next year. But yeah, so on with the rest of the plot. Next is the potatoes. So next to the dahlias, we have got a massive patch of potatoes. So all of these going all around. We left a little bit of a space for sweet corn, which it just didn't do very well this year. Last year didn't do very well, so I don't know. Us and sweet corn do not seem to gel. So I don't think we're going to be doing any next year. But potatoes have done really well. And these are just about ready to harvest, especially this sort of section here. You can see they've sort of started to yellow and brown and sort of flop over. So when they're about this, when they sort of get to about this stage, the leaves are starting to brown. You can see other stalks have actually browned and flopped over already, so all of this is potatoes. So that sort of indicates a really good time to start to dig them up. So that is going to be our next chore on the allotment, is to dig up all the potatoes. So yeah, it's going to be quite a job to dig this whole patch up. But we're up for the challenge, so hopefully we're going to do that. I'm thinking we might do it tomorrow, see if we can bring the kids up and they can help a little bit. So I don't know about you guys, but our kids have taken a dislike to the allotment this year. I don't know why. I don't know if they get a bit bored when they're up here, but every time I've asked them if they want to come out to the allotment, they always say no. And it's really, really hard to kind of entice them to come up. I mean, sometimes when we're doing a bit of harvesting, then it's fun for them. They'll sort of harvest with us, but generally they just haven't been up for it. So yeah, that's another reason why it's been really hard to kind of try and cajole them up to the allotment during the school holidays. But yeah, hopefully we'll find a way to get them interested in it again. So after the potatoes, so the potatoes end there. We're going to come on down. So we've got our cucumbers, which are these over here. I'll just kind of turn around so you can see them. These have done really, really well. So we've got cucumbers here, and then we've got some cucamelons there. So the cucumbers, they are pickling cucumbers. We have actually been eating them raw as well. So as long as you peel them, they're not too bitter and we can actually eat them. But as you can see, they're just in very much need of harvesting. They're kind of gone past their best, really. They're starting to go a little bit yellow. But yeah, we've had loads and loads and loads of cucumbers. And the trellises kind of held up. Yeah, it's done pretty well for the season. And then next to them, we've got our cucamelons, which finally, I've got some good news on that. Finally, we can start to see, I'm just trying to look for some now. Here we go. We've finally started to notice some actual cucamelons. There you go. So that's actually nearly ready to pick, actually. So, well, when they're about an inch, I think it is, about an inch, 1.5 centimetres big, you can then start to harvest them. So cucamelons, I don't know if you've ever grown them yourselves, but, oh look, there's another one. There, another one in there. Oh, there's lots in there. Yay! They took absolutely ages. But yeah, so I don't know if you've ever grown cucamelons before. This is our first time growing them, and we initially, well, the way I sold it to the kids and what I thought was that they actually taste sort of watermelons, but they don't at all. That was a mistake on my part. But they look like watermelons, mini watermelons, but they don't taste anything like watermelons. They're supposed to taste a bit sort of like a cucumber, but with a tangy, limey flavour. So really, really nice. And I think you can sort of either eat them raw or have them in salads, or maybe do a salsa with them, that sort of thing. Anything sort of that likes tangy flavours with it. So yeah, this is our first year growing them, so I'll be harvesting some soon when they're sort of at the right size, and then we'll try them together and we'll see what they taste like. So that'll be me trying cucamelons for the first time. But yeah, let me know if you've ever grown any before and what you thought of the flavour. Sounds interesting. So from our cucamelons to our tomatoes. So yeah, I'm going to say that maybe our tomatoes, sorry about the shadow, maybe our tomatoes have been a bit of a failure this year, because I noticed the other day that the fruit was starting to sort of brown. I did take them off, so I don't know if we've got any that are actually going to show what I mean, but I mean, they seem okay. But they've started to brown before they've ripened, and the leaves, some of the leaves are sort of going a bit sort of brown and shriveled and yellowy, and that can mean that we've actually got blight in our tomatoes. And actually, if we come around this side, what you can also recognise blight as is if you've got some black in the stems as well. So I don't know if you can see that. There's a little bit of black sort of in the bottom of the stems. There's nothing sort of further up, which is a bit strange, because normally you get sort of black splodges all the way up. So maybe it's just at the beginning of its thing. But anyway, I'm just going to double check to make sure they have actually got blight, and then I'm going to read up as well to see if we can actually still pick the fruit, because we can pick this fruit and it'll ripen on the windowsill at home. So we might still be able to get some fruit off them, but I just need to read up and make sure that when they've got blight, if we can actually still eat them or whether we should completely discard them. So I do know that if your tomatoes have blight, generally they recommend that you basically discard them. So not in the compost pile, discard them in your kind of refuse bin basically, to completely get rid of them. So yeah. I'm going to double check to make sure that it has actually got blight. I'm almost sure they have, and then obviously read up to see if we can harvest any of the fruit, let them ripen at home, or whether we just need to completely rip them all out and discard them. So might not be a success with our tomatoes, but I'll kind of keep you updated. So something that I do think is a success this year are our peppers. So this is them over here. So these are sort of a sweet pointed pepper. They're Demeter F1, I think they're called. And they're doing really, really well. Well, as far as I can tell anyway. I've never grown peppers before actually. This is my first time growing them, because I thought you needed a greenhouse to grow them. But we sort of experimented this year to see if we could grow them outside. And they're looking really, really healthy. We'll have to see if they start to... I don't know about that one actually. That one looks like it's a little bit rotted a bit inside, but all the other ones are looking really, really good. They just need to redden up really. So that's what we're waiting for. They should be red, these ones. I mean, I guess you could eat them like this. They'd probably be a bit bitter, like sort of green bell peppers, but yeah. So yeah, fingers crossed we have enough time for them to ripen up, and then we can harvest those. So yeah, really excited about the prospect of harvesting our own peppers for the first time. And then we've got our row of beans. So these, oh my goodness, I don't know if you remember, if you saw one of the earlier tours, that these were very, very sad looking. And I thought, yeah, we're not going to get any harvest of them. But they've kicked themselves into gear. And I mean, I did harvest loads yesterday, so we have got some beans. So yeah, I have just harvested a load, but really, really impressed that they kind of kicked themselves into shape. they're giving us some lovely beans. So these are Annabelle beans. So yeah, we've had some really good harvest off those. And then coming on back, we've got our 3 rows of beetroot. So again, we've been harvesting off these already. So some of them, as you can see, are starting to put on a bit of size. So these are different coloured ones. So you've got some yellow ones in here, which you can tell by the stalks here, yellow. We've got some, obviously, the general, the normal sort of beetrooty colour. What else have we got? Yeah, yellow. I think there's some orangey ones in there as well. But yeah, they're doing really well. We've started to harvest them. So really, really happy with those. And then next to them, we've got our spring onions, which again, we've been harvesting. So they've done really well. And again, we're ready to harvest those. A few on there that we can harvest today. As you can see, there are so many weeds, so just ignore those. I've kind of lost the battle with weeds, and as you can see, all this grass has just gone wild. But yeah, we have got a plan, and I'll share it with you. I have got a plan of what we're going to do next year to try and reduce the amount of weeds and grass. So next we've got our Brussels sprouts. So we had 4, 1 got eaten, so I've just pulled it out. We don't eat many Brussels sprouts anyway, so we like to have a few for Christmas. But as you can see, they're just starting to put on their little Brussels sprouts. They're so cute. So yeah, these are just going to take, well, they're going to take quite a while to keep growing. But as long as we've got some ready for Christmas Day, then that is absolutely fine for us. And then we've got a row of kale, which are doing really, really well. Again, we've been harvesting loads off these. So this is Tosca de Nero, this one. Oh, let me just tell you the Brussels sprouts that what's this one? Brody F1 for the Brussels sprouts. And then Slender Star, I think, for the spring onions. So they've done really well. The kale's done really well. And then there's a little interim crop. We did a little bit of our radishes, and again, we've been harvesting off these. They are so quick and easy to grow. And again, see, that one is nearly, well, just about ready to be harvested. And again, there's lots of different colours for these ones, sort of a yellowy, got a bit more of a orangey browny one. But yeah, those have been really, really tasty. And then sort of turning round, our last little bit of the allotment is a bit of a fruit area. We've got some gooseberries here, raspberries, jostaberry bush, red currant, rhubarb. And then this, oh my God, this is our strawberry patch. And again, you can see it's just taken over by all the grass. So I need to try and dig that out again. So I redid all of the strawberries. I did a video actually about it, just sort of how to get free strawberries basically from all the runners. We had tons and tons of runners from our current strawberries. They were sort of starting to get less productive this year, so we decided to take them all out and then replant the new ones. And they're doing pretty well. We've lost a few, but that's pretty good in that whole area. We must have planted, oh gosh, maybe 40 little strawberry plants, so we've lost a few. But yeah, they're generally doing really well. You just can't see them because there's so much grass growing. So anyway, that needs a bit of a clear out. So yeah, we're coming on to the other side of the plot now. So we've just been down all of this side and we're now going to start working our way up the other side of the plot. So next to our strawberries here, we've got our 2 rows of leeks, which are doing really, really well. So they're starting to put on a bit of size now. And again, these will go on into autumn and a little bit through winter as well, if there's still enough left. So they're very, very hardy. And then onto our courgette patch. So as you know, courgettes just go absolutely mad. We've had so many courgettes. So we've got 2 different types here. We've got the yellow ones, which is Aurelia F1 we've planted. And then we've got our other one variety, so this is the Defender. So these are your normal standard Defender ones, and they're doing really, really well. Very, very prolific, very, very easy to grow. If you ever want to grow something that just takes no effort at all, just a lot of water, make sure you water them well and manure them well. Yeah, they're just an easy crop to grow. So I don't know if you can tell, but some of the leaves have started to get powdery mildew. So this is what happens here in the UK, just because we're so sort of damp and wet. Yeah, especially the last few weeks. Mind you, the last week's been quite dry actually, but before that we had loads and loads of rain. But this is just what happens. What you can do is just kind of take the leaves off that have got the powdery mildew, just take them off and then just leave the nice fresh ones. But by the end of the season they'll all sort of have powdery mildew. So you can actually treat powdery mildew, and I've done it at home with some other plants. You can just mix up milk and water and then just sort of spray the leaves. But for us, it's just not worth it for these, because these are, yeah, they're going to stop producing at some point in the next few weeks and then they'll be done. So we just don't bother with that. They don't seem to be bothered by the powdery mildew at all, so we just tend to leave them. So our last little couple of bits, we've got some pumpkins. So we've got, this one is called, and this one I grew more for ornamental purposes, but it is called Turk's Turban. Yeah, Turk's Turban. And they're so pretty. They're very cute. They're more sort of decorating really. And then as you can see, we've got one nearly ripe pumpkin. So this one's nearly good to go actually. So it's sort of nearly all the way orange, and then you can see the leaves have started to kind of brown and die, and then when this starts to go a little bit browner as well, that's when we know it's ready and we'll harvest it, and we might be able to store it to Halloween. If not, we have got another one growing, which is probably the one that we'll use for Halloween, because that's still a way off. So yeah, the other one might be pumpkin soup or pumpkin bread or something else. So yeah, so that, guys, is the state of our plot at the moment. So yeah, as you can see, everything that's planted is doing pretty well. It's just, yeah, the weeds and the grass are just taking over. So as I said, we've got a plan to look after the plot a little bit better next year as far as weeds go. So I'll share that all with you, what we're planning to do, and we'll hopefully see a good return in what we're going to do in terms of less weeds, yeah, and just less maintenance on the plot, because yeah, trying to keep on top of all that grass and that keeps growing up and all the weeds is just really hard. I'm sure if you've got your own plots or even in your garden, it's really hard to keep on top of. Anyway, all right guys, so that is it for this allotment tour. So actually now I've done it, I'm glad I did the tour, because actually we've got some really good things growing, especially the flowers. I've just loved having all those flowers, and as I said, I'm going to amp them up loads next year, and I'll sort of show you which seeds I've ordered, yeah, and a bit of a plan for the allotment for next season. All right guys, so until next time, have a good day. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye.